Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas, Dr. Julie.
Really? I don't know what does Mrs. Claus say?
Did you
Okay, let's
just
get the
give me
cookies
the
and milk.
really? Really?
Like my Rudolph? But no.
Mrs.
Sometimes we just need to be seen and heard, and sometimes that's the hardest within a family. And so if we can be that person to fulfill that role, that could be the greatest Christmas gift that we could give somebody in our family.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Prime Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Skip Wyss, coming at you with a very special edition of the Prime Podcast because it's Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve.
Yeah, and you look fantastic with your Grinch shirt.
Thank you. If only you could get the full visual from the front and even better from the back
from
with
the rear.
my legs.
I bought this gem for you. And
Yes.
It's now become, I think, your favorite
To all
Christmas
of my
shirt.
postpartum moms, you will appreciate. I'm not going to stand up on the camera. This is something that you need to visualize and see in person. But you could only imagine what these
Well, it looks
look
like
and feel
things
like.
may have fallen out. So
Yeah.
Hence your postpartum care.
That would be a good
Kind of
call to action of all you mamas who need your things put back. Let's chat because I have my classes filling up for 2025.
Yeah, your January one is almost full. Your February one's already starting to book out because you only take, what do you take? 4 moms?
Four max because I like
Max.
to be very hands-on. I mean, it's really sensitive, but I like to be very hands-on in that, like, I make sure that you know exactly what you're doing and you're doing it perfectly.
Yeah, you're very hands-on, but it's very non-invasive. There's nothing internal.
There's no gloves. I'm not putting any gloves on. We're on your skin.
Not pelvic floor therapy type things.
No, but I make sure, like, I'm not physically holding your hand, but I'm holding your hand to make sure that you're doing it perfectly. So between 2 to 4, like, that's like 3, 4
You're holding
max.
on to these moms' mental stability.
Oh, and when if we get too many in the in the room, it's gonna be too much. Yeah, yeah.
Well, we're on here today because we actually kind of made a little bit of an audible, and we're taping this for Christmas Eve because we had a different episode already taped out to go out, but I really wanted to get on here and talk to you guys tonight because it's just a really special time of year, and
we have so much to be thankful for.
We do. And a lot of the times with Christmas, things just get rushed. December usually just flies by, and then everybody's into January making these New Year's resolutions.
It's like my post that I made the other day that everybody, like, you have it on the mugs and your sweaters of grace. Like, I give grace before coffee, and coffee before grace. Yep. And I think it just gets, like, when things get said so often, it really minimalizes what that word actually means. And if you really truly think about, like, what grace is and how you've been given grace, it's the same thing within the Christmas season.
I agree with you. And last year we did one, Jesus versus Santa, where you can go back and listen to that because I think that was a really good episode. You know, it doesn't matter where you stand when you're a Christian. 24th and 25th of December is a celebration of Jesus's birthday. It's a celebration. It's a celebration of it. It may not mean that he was born on this day, but it's a celebration of his birthday. And what it really is about is him. But even more importantly, alongside of him is a celebration of you and your families and getting together and really concentrating during these holiday season on just spending time with one another. Everybody gives that lip service where they're like, I just want to spend time with people on the holidays. Yeah, but are you actively spending time? Are you actively engaged?
Just showing up in the same room with people. Like, if you don't look up, if you don't say something, if you don't interact, that is just time wasted.
It is
That's
time
just
wasted.
like every
might as
other
well just stay home.
Every other day, correct. And
you might as
so
well just stay home.
It's super important of where things are going in society, that we are alienating ourselves and we're separating ourselves and we're living, we're scared to come out from our homes. Totally understand that, but people are living in their cell phones, and this is the time, even if family, if it drives us crazy, right? It's for a short moment in time, but to really be intentional with that time that you do have together.
Yeah, and get to know your relatives again. A lot of times people will sit there and they'll kind of be a little negative towards their relatives. And then when you're around them, you realize that despite all of their little quirks, they're just people, and they're good people, and they were there your whole life.
And they may be struggling. Maybe that's a time for us to take the higher road, or to maybe just stop and listen and realize, oh my gosh, I've been given gifts to be able to maybe listen more than to speak, or given a gift of connection, or to give them references or referrals. Or again, I think sometimes we just need to be seen and heard. And sometimes that's the hardest within a family. And so if we can be that person to fulfill that role, that could be the greatest Christmas gift that we could give somebody in our family this year.
Well, when God sent his son to earth in the form of us, the reason why he sent him was for our forgiveness of our sins. That ultimately was the price that he paid in his 30s. And that is actually the gift you've been given because of Christ being here and being crucified, was the forgiveness of your sins. And you have that power to forgive everybody in your life. And this time of year is about forgiveness. It's about letting things go, forgiving people, and just being a part of their life again and being something special. Make an impact with them instead of trying to make something negative out of it or make it awkward. Just be a positive impact for them. Whether it's you spending time, talking to them, playing cards, doing games, spending time with their children, but show an interest in who they are. Our good friends always say, be more interested than interesting. And this is the time of year where that needs to happen, because guess what? The election season's done. There's nothing to argue over anymore. There's people that are going to be mad and upset, fine, but we're all done with that. The holidays are here. Christmas is here. Forgive and move on and just be happy.
Well, and I would say for the negativity, if not for the other person, for you, because we know that's how cancer is grown. It's grown from negativity.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so if you can't even just for that day, do it for, be self-serving if that's how you need to feel about it, but for yourself, your health, your body, your future self needs that forgiveness. And sometimes if we can just lean into it that way a little bit, realize, oh, that didn't hurt so bad, that will start to extrapolate into family and other people that you come across.
Exactly. And they're going to start feeling that warmth and spreading that to other people too. A year ago, I had heard, we were listening to the family, and there was a gentleman on there talking. Family is a Christian radio station here in town that we strongly support and advocate for, and we get a chance to give our money to advertise on that station. It's amazing. And they were talking about, what if you just said yes for the entire year? And I'm like, what is he getting at? And what he's talking about is, when you go to the register this time of year, what's there at the end of your transaction? They're usually asking you for a donation to a charity to round up. And most of the time, everybody says no. Most of the time. Very few just say yes. Well, think about that. If you just rounded up every time you were told yes and made a deposit into the goodwill of mankind and made a deposit into that charity, 15 cents, 39 cents, did that really destroy you? That adds up to your goodwill over time. And you're giving back and putting things out to help people, and it always will come back 10 to 100 times full over. And to just challenge yourself to just say yes, because you feel great after you do it. That's one of the biggest things. We've talked about this a lot on here, is if you're feeling down, do something positive. Do something for somebody else to lift your spirits up. Not for you, but for them.
It's for them. Yep. And so it can be that monetary, it can be writing a letter, it can just be saying hello, somebody dropped something, picking something up, helping somebody across the street. All of those things, again, it's not a self-serving, it's a giving back. And we know that when we put out, that is going to come back. to us.
Yeah, exactly. Now I want to talk about this guy on your shirt quick, because I am super happy that the Grinch has become mainstream. And what I mean by that is that he's starting to overshadow Santa Claus. He really is. Like this last weekend was the first time that I saw an actual Grinchmas tree. And the funny thing is it's not the mean Grinch that's on there. He's smiling the whole time, just like on your shirt. He's smiling. And these kids have really taken to the Grinch. Because the moral of the end of the Grinch isn't the fact that everybody gets their presents back. It's the fact that he found love and his heart grew 3 sizes. And he went from being a vindictive, hateful, curmudgeon of a person to being this love and light.
But how did it start? Somebody had to show
showed him kindness. Cindy Lou Who. That little turd showed him so much kindness, and she wouldn't back down. And she loved him and she gave to him and wanted him around, and then she went and hit on his dang sleigh, and that's what got him. But I found it awesome because there's more Grinch stuff now than there is Santa Claus. And not to get away from the big Kris Kringle, the big CC, right? Or the big KK or whatever he is. But this is great. And the reason why this is great is because kids know that the Grinch is make-believe. And they know that he's fun. They know that he is an image. They know that he is a cartoon. They know that he's great. But they can find the moral to the story. There's a lot of magic in Christmas on both sides of it. But I love the fact that this guy is becoming more and more popular. And you're seeing this happen all the time, like Merry Grinchmas happening, where it's they're throwing more parties with him at it. Kids are getting more photos with the Grinch. And he's actually a happy person. He's not coming out scaring kids. Now, granted, there are some people that take it to the extreme and they go to the other side with the Grinch and they have these adult Grinchmas parties and stuff like that where things are losing the value of what Christmas really is about. But I think the moral to this story is incredible, and I like the fact that kids are watching because they're listening to it and they're seeing it happen. So the point of this here with this special episode is just to tell you all thank you very, very much. And that we are so incredibly grateful over these last 2 years of you listening to us. And 2025 is going to be absolutely fantastic. The next episode coming at you, episode 306, will be fantastically awesome. That thing kicks butt.
But all the S's.
You're not going to want to miss that. Yeah, it's all the S's of winter. And it's pretty cool. It's a really good episode. Share it. But this one is about you. And spreading our love and telling you thank you, and being thankful for you, and just being really, really happy to be a part of your lives and in your family's life, right? It just really is.
You all are a blessing to us, and if there's something that resonates with you, if you could just be a blessing and bless this episode, previous episodes, and have your friends and family, have them to subscribe, because sometimes the things that we go through is it should be second nature. We should be thinking this, but sometimes we just need to hear things over and over. And instead of sometimes saying like, "Hey, I told you," just send them our podcast as a way of, like, here, maybe you should listen to this.
Yeah, and they're gonna love it. They absolutely are gonna love it, because if you love it, they're gonna love it. And you know as well as I do, the information that we get a chance to give to you on here has been absolutely incredibly great. So share it. We're on a mission coming up here in 2025 to get to over 1,000 subscribers. And if we could double it or triple it and hit that 1,000 early, let's do it, and let's get this message out. Because the more your family and friends hear this, the happier they're going to be, but the healthier they're going to be as well. And happy, healthy people are amazingly fun people to be around.
So much more fun.
Heck yeah. So guys, have an incredibly Merry Christmas. Go out there, enjoy this holiday week. And we'll see you all on New Year's Eve. Bye, everyone.